now, back to Merv.
Welcome back. We've been talking with Barry Freed, a.k.a. Abby Hoffman. And right now I'd like to bring out another controversial character from the 60s. Someone who disappeared from the American scene, only to return looking nothing like he used to. Ladies and gentlemen, Eldridge CLeaver. Well, Eldridge, how's your soul these days? Still on ice?
You some kind of idiot?
Yes, but what I'm really interested in is your recent endorsement of Ronald Reagan. It seems so out of character for the ex-Black Panther leader.
Well, Merv, the fact is I'm just a trendy mother. Black power was big in the 1960s, radical chic and all that, but neo-fascism is where it's at for the 1980s. I tried being original, but my innovative trousers design went nowhere, so I decided to become a follower. I'm not alone in this either. Look at Abby's old friend Jerry Rubin. He's working on Wall Street.
Yes, I guess that's true. Well, I'd love to talk some more about this with you, Eldridge, but I do have to bring out our next guest. Our next guest is another person who was in the news for a long time, but recently we haven't heard much about her. She was embroiled in a big legal controversy in the 1970s, and I'd like you to meet her now. Ms. Karen Ann Quinlan. Karen, I want you to know it's a pleasure to have you on our show. Well, thank you. Karen, you were a big news story a few years back, but we've heard so little from you recently. What have you been up to? Is that so? And is it good for you, too? Well, that's fascinating, but I think a lot of kids out here who are probably watching could learn quite a bit from your experience, and I was wondering if you can remember, could you tell our viewers just what drugs you took that night? I see. Well, I think we've all learned really quite a bit from this, and I want to know it's really been a pleasure to have you on our show. But we do have to bring out our next guest, and this is someone I'm really excited about. We now have someone who was another famous American figure who's just totally seemed to disappear from the face of the earth. But he's with us today, and I'm very excited. Please welcome former Teamsters Union President Jimmy Hoffa.
Merv, it's a pleasure to be here.
James, good to see you. I can't tell you how honored I am to have you on my show. But tell me, what have you been up to recently?
Well, Merv, for a while I felt I needed a new direction in my life. I was stagnating, so I decided to do some underwater research.
Oh, like Jacques Cousteau?
Sort of, but without the boat. You see, I'm studying the effects on the human body of being buried underwater wearing these concrete overshoes. It's hard to get volunteer subjects, though, Merv, so I had to be my own subject.
I see. And what happens to the body under these circumstances?
It gets wet.
Well, could you tell us, why did you resurface now?
I was waiting for my old lady to die.
I get it. Okay, well, thank you, Jimmy. I want to tell you again, it's been a real honor to have you here. And I'm sorry, but that's about all the time we have for our show today. I hope you enjoyed our guests, and I know a lot of you were wondering what has happened to Joey Bishop. Why has he disappeared? And I've heard from reliable sources that what's happened to Joey is that he is alive and well, and he's got his own television talk show, which he calls The John Davidson Show.